Hey, thanks for joining me to color. Today we are going to be working on this adorable Wild Rose Studio image called Girl with Xmas Presents. Isn't she adorable? I love her. I will put a link down in the description box to the card kit and all the supplies I used. I would love for you to come shopping with me. So I've already stamped my image on Neenah 80-pound Solar White cardstock with Memento Tuxedo Black ink. So let's color. Let's start out by coloring her skin. For that, we're going to use E00, E000. For her cheeks, I'm going to use R20 and R30. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start down here on her legs with E00. And let's give it a little swipe of color here on the inside. And then let's do the back, this one. And then I'm going to fill it in with E00, or E000, sorry. And I'm going to go over it a second time. So again, I'm going to go with E00. And then a light swipe of E000. Then let's hop up here and do her face. So again, I'm going to start with my E00. And let's go away from this package here. So I'm just going to brush away from this package. And I'm going to kind of swoop my pen up here into her bang area. And then over here, let's swoosh towards the middle of her face. And then her ear, she's got a little ear showing over here. So let's swoop up into her hair a little bit over here and bring it down there in the middle. And then I'm going to grab E000, I'm going to fill in her ear. And then I'm just going to swipe across her face. And then let's add a little bit of cheek color and we'll go over that again. So I'm going to grab R20. And let's bring her cheeks out just a little bit away from this package. And then over here, I'm going to use her hair and start with my dark up next to her side of her face. And then I'll lightly dab on a little bit of my R30. Then I'm going to go over a second time with E00. Let's add a little bit in here where her ear is. Swipe over the top of that cheek. Same for this side. Swipe right over that cheek. And a little bit up here for her hair. And then go over the entire thing with our E000. Let's do her hair next. For that, we're going to use E33, YR23, YR21, and YR20. I'm going to start with my E33, and she's got a little bit, I'm going to start with her, say her part's going to be right here where it's poking up. So I'm just going to take my E33 and hold my pen a little bit straight. And I'm going to make some little streaks. And then I want this color to come down past her headband. Let's add a few in here. And then over here, I want it, remember she's got a headband right here. So I'm going to go past that. And let's also add some down here. And then over here where it's coming out from the packages. And then I want to do some from the bottom down here where her bangs are. And I'm making some space in there where there actually wasn't any hair, that they didn't draw any on there. I'm just going to add some in there. And then she's got a cute little piggy tail over here. So let's add a little bit of color where there's some bends. And then let's grab YR23 next. And I'm going to start right up here at this cute little part. And let's just work our way around. And add some down here to the piggy tail. Next I'm going to go with YR21. Again, I'm holding my pen pretty straight up and down, and I'm just adding in some more streaks in that white space. And then lastly, we'll do YR20. Try to hit some of this little white space I got in there. And then I'm going to go back a second time with my my E33. Let's skip down and do the boots and the gloves. For that, we're going to use W7, W5, and W3. I'm going to go ahead and start here at a little glove. And I'm going to flick up from the bottom here. So I've got my pin kind of at an angle. And I'm flicking it up. And then where her thumb is, I'm going to add a little dab of color. Next, I'm going to grab W5. And we're going to touch down on top of our W7. Just going to flick up. I'm going to go over it a couple of times to soften that line. And then I'm going to fill it in with my W3. And I'm going to go over it a second time. And now I'm going to swipe clear up from the bottom just to soften it all together. And then we'll hop down here and we'll do her foot or her shoes. So again, I'm going to start with my W7, and let's start on this foot over here. And I'm going to pull a little bit away from the inside and then work my way down the front of her boot. And let's bring it around like this. Maybe add a little bit more here on the top. I'm going to leave a little space down here for her sole so it'll be a little bit lighter. Next I'm going to go with W5. And let's fill in some of this sole. And then our W3 to fill it all the way in. And I went ahead and colored right over the top of those buttons and took my Sharpie white paint pen and put the dots back on later. And then let's hop over and do the other boot. So again, I'm going to grab my W7 and let's turn my girl this way. And I'm going to go away from the inside. Let's do the front here. And then again, I'm going to leave a little space for the sole. And then our next is W5. And then W3 to fill it in. Now, let's hop over here and do this purple package. For that, we're going to use BV04, BV02, and BV01. I'm going to do the red last because I'm terrible doing red and I'm afraid I'll touch it and move it somewhere else. So I'm just going to do that one last. So let's grab BV04 first, and I'm going to use that on the bottom of this package. And if you don't use your BV04 very much, make sure to remove both caps so that it doesn't make a big old blobby mess, because mine's pretty wet. And I don't use it that much, so I just don't want you to make a big spot on your work. And I'm going to go with BV02. this color up past that ribbon. Same for this side. We'll do it underneath here. And then we want to bring this color up above the ribbon. Whoops. And the ribbon's going to be red, so I'm not too worried about if I color on top of it, but I'm trying to avoid it. And then we're going to fill it in with our BV01. Swoop down this way so I don't color outside the lines there. And add a little bit of this down here to soften that line on the bottom. And then later I went in and I used my Uniball pen my wet gel pen to add some stars to the package. And then let's go up here too and we'll color the ribbon on this top package. So let's start with BV04. Do a little dab down here at the bottom, coming off the top. And we got our bow. Just darken that up. And then we got our bow down here. Then let's grab BV02 next. And then we're filling in the rest of the way with our BV01. And I'm going to go over the entire thing with that, just to smush all my colors together. And I'm going to cut my girl out, so if you go out of the lines, it's not that big of a deal. Unless you want to add white to the outside, then you got to be careful. For the middle package, let's do the stripes with BG 75, 72, and 70. And for the bow, we'll use Y26 and 23. And I'm going to start with my BG 75, and I'm going to pick a stripe. So I'm just going to pick this starter here at the top. And then I'm going to skip every other one. And do a line right down the side there. And down here, we'll fill in a little bit more. Let's see, it's going to wrap around, so let's fill in this bottom one, and then this one here, and then this one, let's do this little section right here where it's touching the package, and this one goes across right here. Let's do this one. Got to try to figure out where I want my stripes to go. And we'll do this one here. And skip one. Skip another one. And this top one. And then we're going to grab BG 72, and we're going to fill the rest of those stripes in. So whatever stripes you put the BG 78 on, you want to go in with your BG 72. Or sorry, BG 75, whichever one you put the BG 75 on, you want to go back and fill the rest of the way in with your BG 72. And work our way down to the bottom. And then I'm going to take my BG 70, whoops, I forgot a spot, right here. Then I'll take my BG 70 and I'm just going to fill in the other stripes. So that gives them just a little bit of color. And if you wanted to shade them and do a little bit more blending, you could take your BG72 and tip to tip it to make it a little bit darker if you wanted it to be darker. And I'm just going to leave those like that. I'm going to grab my Y26 for my bow. Let's add some shadows. And next we'll go with Y23 to fill that in. I want to have a little bit more contrast, so I'm going to take my Y26 again and just add some more of that dark back in. And then I'm just going to leave it like that. While I had the blacks out, I should have done her headband, so let's grab W7, W5, and W3 again and do that real quick. So I'm going to grab W7 first and give this little headband a little bit of color. And then it comes over here behind her ear. And then there's a little bit showing over here. Next we'll grab W5. And then W3. Alright, so that leaves us with all the red. For that we're going to use R29, R27, R17, and R08. And let's go ahead and start up here at this top package with R29. And for that I'm going to go right down the edge of that bow. And then I'm going to do the bottom of my package. And I'm going to go along this side of my bow. And I'm going to add a little bit of dark over here on the edge too. And then I'm going to grab R27, and we'll dab down on top of R29, and I'm just pulling that color into the middle. Next is R17, same thing. I'm going to touch down on top of those last two colors and pull out here towards the edge. I'm going to leave a little bit of white here for the last color. Maybe a little bit more sparing on this side. And then we'll take R08 and sweep over the entire area. Alright, and then let's go down here and do this next package. So again, I'm going to grab R29. Let's do the center of our bow. And then I'm going to give each end a little dab of color. And start up on my bows. Then I'll grab R27 next. And that bow's really skinny, so you got to be careful. Just the tip of your pin. R17. And then R08 to fill it in. Really careful out there. That's really skinny. Okay, and then let's hop over here and we'll do this flower in her hair. So again, I'm going to go with R29. I'm going to go with just a little dab of that in the center of each of my petals. And down the little line that each flower has. little dab of color in there. And then I'm going to grab R27. Same thing, I just want to go over the top of that last color and just add a little dab more. And next we'll do R17. And leaving a little bit of white on the ends for our R08. And then I'll take R08 to fill it in. And then for the center, I think I'll grab a little bit of my Y23 and just give it a little dab right there in the middle. Even though I'm going to cover it up with Stickle Stardust, I will give it a little bit of color there on the inside. Okay, so let's work down here and do this little bow in her hair. So again, I'm going to grab R29. Start dabbing a little bit of color on. And then R27. R17, and then R08 to fill it in. Okay, so that leaves us with her cute little dress here. So again, I'm going to start with my R29. Let's do a little line along the bottom. And then she's got a little wrinkle right here, so I'm going to exaggerate that a little bit. And I want this one up here to have a little bit of color. Line that there's for her wrinkle. And then we'll grab R27. And I've exaggerated this line just a little bit more. And let's connect over here to this side. Next we'll grab R17. And we'll bring this color up a little bit. And then I'm going to sweep over the entire sleeve with the R08. Swoosh all those colors together. Then for the skirt, again, I'll grab R29. And let's go down underneath of her sleeve and down the back. My pin's kind of dry. I'm going to have to fill it back up. And we'll go underneath this fur over here. And then I want to add a little bit of a wrinkle. So I'm going to bring this color down into here. And let's give it a little wrinkle over here, like this. Next we'll grab R27. And I'm going over the edge of that R29. And we'll go R17. And then R08. And I'm going to use this to go over the entire thing to swoosh all those colors together. So there is our beautiful girl with Christmas presents all colored up. Isn't she pretty? And then here is, again, is the finished card. So on my finished card, I have added some Sharpie white paint pen to her cheeks. And then I took my white gel pen, my Uniball white gel pen, and added some dots to this package. And I put some little stars on top of this purple package. And then I took some Stickle Stardust and I added some of that to the flowers, to this little bow in her hair, to the purple bow and the gold bow. This one was kind of small, so I didn't add any on there. And then I took my Spica glitter pen and added some clear into her hair, of course. Oh, and I did my Sharpie paint pen down here on the buttons on her boots. And then I cut her out. And this piece in your card here, the little snowflake piece, is embossed. So it'd be really cute if you, I didn't do that to mine, but it'd be really cute if you put some glitter on these snowflakes maybe. Make them all sparkly in the background, or maybe added some snow down here on this little snowbank that she's standing on. That would be really cute. I hope you had fun coloring with me today. If you have a question, leave me a comment and I'll get back to you. Otherwise, we will see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.